Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, March 18th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got Buffalo Sabres versus the Seattle Kraken. Puck drop is going to be here in just a couple minutes. And Marcos Pineda with a tenner before the stream even started, just to be able to show a little bit of love. I appreciate that very, very much. $10 dono to get us started. 90 to go to hit the first goal. I appreciate you, brother. I know you're not the biggest hockey fan, but you definitely want to support the NWSF, Paisley, and the dreams that I have. I appreciate you very, very much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang, $10 holla. Let's go. I appreciate you getting us started off on a good foot and a good note. And this should be a good one here tonight. Buffalo Sabres, Seattle Kraken. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. And make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. You know, one thing that I definitely want to advocate for, for my entire life, just through my personal experiences through like depression and anxiety. This is something that does not need to be put on the back burner. This should be something that's very important to every single person. And no matter, someone might have a smile on their face and you may think they're good, but deep down they might not be. So make sure you're checking up on your friends and your family, especially if you haven't talked to some of them in a minute. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. What are we going to get here today? And this is the only team the Seattle Kraken has never lost to in the existence of the Kraken, the Buffalo Sabres. And I don't want to start off with a bad note here tonight. 32-31-5, sixth in the Atlantic Division, the Buffalo Sabres. 28-26-12, sixth in the Pacific, the battle of the bads, but something's got to give, and hopefully we can end up getting a dub here at the end of the day. And then with the thumb, Rasmus Dahlin on the left, and who do we got on the right? We got Yanni Gourde. Let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. I am ready to go. Beautiful weather here in the Pacific Northwest, over 80 degrees in a lot of locations here in Oregon and Washington. Pacific Northwest getting record highs about 2 months early. Normally, we're used to this weather kind of towards my birthday in May. It's very unusual, to be in March and to have this type of weather. Even 70 degrees or higher is a little unusual. So definitely got a little bit of color, got a chance to be able to take Paisley on a couple walks. We've already did about an hour and a half, 2 hours already today. And then after this matchup is over, hopefully we'll have a celebratory walk late tonight, and we'll be able to get that done. Let's go, baby. Let me turn some music on here in the background. Wait for a few more people to get ready to show up, and we're ready to go. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Who's going to be the hero tonight? Little Yanni Gourde. Maybe a little Maddie Benez. Could it be our all-star from this year, Bjorky, Oliver Bjorkstrand? I don't know who's going to step up. The Hack's got to light a fire under everyone's ass because, we're starting to slip, and we have to find a way to at least somewhat finish strong, even if we don't make a wild card and we don't make the playoffs. Come on, baby. We need you, and hopefully we can end up finding a way to beat Buffalo. And we, have had, I don't want to say, an easy time with Buffalo. We haven't lost to them, in the career, in the existence of the Seattle Kraken. And when we played them last in January, we ended up beating them 5-2 on the road. So hopefully we can get a similar type of matchup here tonight. Let's go, baby. One thing that I am a little bit concerned about is going to be the play in net. And, if you look at their goalie in net, right? Oko, Pekka, Lukanen, 5 shutouts this season. He's huge, 6'5", 217. And even though their record, may put them in 6th place, let's not doubt him one bit. A little bit of size on, our goalies with what we have with Joey Decord and Philip Grubauer. So definitely is going to be a challenge. But again, we have their number, at least so far, and hopefully we can keep that up because knowing the Kraken and their fans, I mean, it's been a rough season, but I'm definitely not giving up, and hopefully we can find a way to get this dub here tonight. Let's go, baby. They're in the building. What's good? $10, 90 to go. And let me throw up a couple photos for Marcos, even if he's not in the building. He is a big Beaver fan, big Seahawk fan, Mariner fan as well. So I figured I'll go with one of his favorite players. We're going to go with Marshawn Lynch. So I'm going to throw up a couple photos of Marshawn, even if he is not here. A lot of times, he'll be at work or he'll watch a replay after. Very loyal to the soil, and I appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much. Let's bring up a couple photos up here. We'll throw on the Seahawks spinning logo. And let's throw a couple Marshawns up for his support. Beast mode, baby. Especially if you live out here in the Pacific Northwest. Definitely one of the more beloved players, Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode. Appreciate you, bro. I mean, look at him with the visor and all, so fresh and so clean. Woo! Good memories with Marshawn Lynch, and if you don't have Marshawn Lynch, you don't have Super Bowls, and that is big facts. Same could probably be said for LeGarrette Blount. When LeGarrette Blount was running, for mostly on the AFC teams, with the Patriots and the Steelers, and then a little bit with the Eagles as well. They came in around the same time, dominated around the same time, and both got rings as well. Let me see if I can find one more Marshawn Lynch here for my buddy. Marcos Pineda, see if I can find one of him, maybe with helmet off. Let's see, one more here for my boy before we get started. Oh, here's a good one. So we got this one. We got that one. Woo, baby. Oh, I like the beanie. Let's go. Beast mode in the building. All right, baby. Let's go. Megan in the building. What's good? How are you? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go. Thank you for the share and like on the Twitter/X. And if there's anybody watching on the Twitter/X side, if you do like and retweet the stream or reshare the stream, it definitely will help us gain some more ground. So I appreciate that. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people watching on YouTube here as well. Let's go. I'm excited about the matchup. It's been rough, for Kraken fans, for me and Megan and Reflect and a few others. It hasn't been easy to watch. We're on a 4-game losing streak, and it hurts, especially, climbing up all the way to, getting close to like 4th in the division, and then 5th, and then dropping back to 6th, and then going back up to 5th, and then going back down to 6th. And we just have to find a little bit of consistency and rhythm. And for the most part, the goalie play hasn't been terrible. We just need our offense to match the goalie, production that we have in net, whether it's going to be Joey Decord or Philip Grubauer, right? So we beat Winnipeg 4-3 March 5th, and then since then we've lost 3-0 to Winnipeg, 5-4 to Vegas in overtime, which is a game that we should have won. And then we lost to the Caps. We came out really flat after that Vegas game. And I think the momentum that Vegas had, they took it and it rolled over on our end with maybe a little bit of sadness and a little bit down on ourselves after losing against Vegas in overtime. That carried over to the Caps game against Alexander Ovechkin. We lost that one 2-1, and I didn't really think the effort was fully there. And then we ended up playing the Nashville Predators, and they just stomped the shit out of us 4-1. So I'm really hoping that we can get 4 goals or more, but I don't want to get greedy and say 5 or 6. Even though we've had a pretty good record against this team, this is the only team in the NHL that the Seattle Kraken have never lost to. So let's not start a new losing streak and adding to our losing streak, because I don't want to go 5 in a row. We have to find a way. And as long as we can find a way to be able to get goals on their beast mode goalie, 5 shutouts. 5. But I guess, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, if you're 6'5", 217, your record might not be good. You might be sixth place, but 5 shutouts is fucking incredible, especially at this point in the season. So hopefully there is no shutout tonight, and I don't think there will be. And I'm hoping for 3 or more. I'll take a 3-1 win. I'll take a 4-3 win. I'll take a 5-2 win. Whatever way we have to go. Close, blowout, whatever it is. But hopefully for the fans and the people watching, for us to be engaged, hopefully it ends up being semi-close in the beginning, and then maybe we can pull away there in the third period. Beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest, over 80 degrees here in Oregon and Washington, and we are ready. Let's go. Now, shout out to Marcos. That's my boy. He's one of the original diehards. And again, I've been friends with the guy for 20 years. He was one of the first ones that I told about the idea of doing the channel, and he's really the only one in Oregon out of my friends that watches pretty much every stream, shares my links and whatnot, through like Facebook and whatnot, and is a real OG supporter, not one of the people that says that they watch and they really don't, but truly one of the people that has been one of my early supporters and will be a supporter for life. So I appreciate you, Marcos Pineda, NWO for life, brother. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Turbo, Maddie, let's get this going, baby. I'm ready. All right, here we go. All right, let me turn the music down here until we get to a commercial break. And I am ready. I mean, after you have a 4-game losing streak, you have to look at the bright side of everything. So here we go. Right out of the gates. Bang! 1-0. Kraken. Are you kidding me? Jordan. Yes. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. We need a fast start, and we just got one. Woo! Yeah, baby. This is going to be a good day. This is going to be a good day, baby. Abs, baby. Are you freaking kidding me? Woo, baby. Way to get the thing going. Let's go, Kraken. We need that, baby. We need that. Take that. Take that. Assisted by Eli Tolvanen and Brian Dumoulin. 1-0. Kraken. Yeah, baby. 297 career goals. 3 more for Ebbs to get 300 for his career. Woo! Let's go. I was not expecting that. I expected us to get a goal within the first maybe 10 minutes, since we have a good record against. Are you kidding me? Wow. Thompson with a goal right back. Well, I guess it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be one of those games. Come on. Unbelievable. Come on, Joey. Joey, I need you. I mean, we've already had some struggles with Philip Grubauer, Bubba. All right, I can't have you, get all emotional after we get our goal, and then all of a sudden, 10 seconds later, you give up one. Come on, bro. I need you to be better. The goalie play has definitely gone a little downhill within the last few games. Come on, Bubba. We believe in you. Let's go. We still believe in you, and we still believe in you. Let's go. Well, I guess we have action, though. 1-1. Thompson with a goal. We're knotted up at 1. Wow. I will definitely give you the tie sign. Daniel in the building. What's good? It's not getting cocky. Buffalo. Plus, we're on a 4-game losing streak. There's nothing to be cocky about anything. We're not a good team. This is the battle of the bads. Both teams are dog shit. So at this point of the season, we're not making the playoffs. So we just have to be able to try to win the games that we're supposed to win and finish strong. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Just because, we got a goal and then we gave up one, I'm not in net. I'm not the one fucking saving pucks, down there. I'm not Joey Decord. I'm not fucking Philip Grubauer. It's up to them to be able to do their job. And as of late, they haven't. So hopefully they can step up here tonight. And if we're going to get a shootout, I'll take a win if it ends up being 5-4. But definitely, I don't think anyone anticipated 2 goals within the first minute and a half. That's bottom line, period, facts. Let's go. But I like the energy coming out of the gates, and at least we're tied up 1-1. I would have rather been up 1-0 for at least 5 or 10 minutes to soak it in. But I guess that's the MO of the Kraken. As soon as we score, then I can't even trust the goalies, and they're just going to give up a goal. So hopefully things will tighten up as the game goes on. Let's go, baby. Come on, Joey. Now, if we were playing someone like Colorado or Vegas or Dallas or one of the or Edmonton or even Toronto, if we're playing some of the better teams, and there's a lot that I haven't even mentioned there, and they end up getting a goal within the first minute or minute and a half on us, so be it. But for a team that has never beaten us in the history of the Kraken, over these last few years, it's not that they can't beat us, but again, we've had our way with them, but we just want to make sure that the offense is going to be on point here today, and hopefully the defense as well. And it's a collective effort. And I haven't seen a hack sighting yet, but hopefully we do. And the last time that we played was January 9th, and we ended up winning 5-2. So, and that was on the road in Buffalo. I believe I actually did that game. So, but I like seeing Tolvanen, Dumoulin, everyone's involved. Let's look at our line that we have out here right now. Dumoulin, Larson, Gord, Yamamoto, Cartier with Decord and net. Let's go. Yeah, I would be okay with that. I mean, since we're not going to make it, I just want us to finish strong. But yeah, I would definitely be okay with him getting a shot to see what he can do, and if he can be a little bit hotter at this point of the season. So pretty much because I know most Kraken fans know we've dug ourselves in too deep of a hole at this point to honestly say that hey, we're coming back and we're going to make a wild card based on how a lot of the other teams are playing. Sometimes it's going to be your day and sometimes it's not. But the bottom line, we're still going to represent and be fans. We're not going to quit on the team. And there we go. 2-1 Sabres. What the hell is going on, Joey? I thought Philip was struggling the last couple games. Come on, Joey. I need Joey like Winter Classic Joey. Not Joey within. I just saw a hack, but he was frowning. And then they went away from him. Frown face. Not happy. Come on, Joey. Top shelf on Joey twice. Jesus. Jeff Skinner. Assisted by Peyton Krebs. 2-1 Sabres. 4 shots on goal, and they have 2 goals. We have 1 shot and 1 goal. So percentage-wise, I mean, that's an amazing, obviously, start for both teams, but not ideal when you're at home. You're both in 6th place, and you're looking up at the scoreboard, and they already have this big lead. Change the line in there. There we go. Hack just change the line. Tata, Dumoulin, Larson, Bjorky, and Belma. Let's go. We need to find this right combination. But at least if you're a hockey fan, there's action. We're not sitting at 0-0 until the 3rd period. We got 3 goals within the first 4 minutes. So I guess I'll take that. But I would have rather been up 2-1 rather down 2-1. I almost feel like the Kraken or the Mariners. We never can be on the same page. It's either the defense is really good, but then we have no offense, or the offense is really good and we have no defense. It's like hitting is good, or the defense isn't good. All right, so we got a gray blazer, we got a white and blue checkered undershirt, and he's got a blue tie, kind of I don't want to say it like a royal blue, but just kind of a standard dark blue tie. So I'm not really sure what that means. Maybe you can dissect that, Megan, what that tie combination means in that blazer. That's a little bit of a different outfit that I've seen him wear in a minute. So, and again, you can't underestimate any opponent, especially if you're not really a playoff team yourself. We're both in 6th place, but when you end up being undefeated against a team, you know that streak is going to come to an end at some point, and Buffalo will beat us either tonight or next year. It's going to happen at some point, but hopefully we can get a little bit more crisp in net. Not the ideal start for Joey Decord to give up 2 goals within the first 4 minutes. Matt in the building. What's good, brother? And if there's any news on the NFL side that you guys want to share, please do. Based off signings, I thought Chase Young ended up going to the Saints. I think that will be a pretty good fit for him there. And now we just have to make sure that we are aggressive and we're going to be taking advantage of power plays, even though we may have minimal opportunities there and keeping the puck out of the crease. Golly, bench him, bench him, bench him. You got to go. 3 goals within 5 minutes. You got to go. Hack, pull him, pull him, pull him, pull him. Here's Grooves. Damn, Joey, that was the shittiest performance I've seen all year, and against a sixth-place team like Buffalo. Come on, Bubba. I mean, a lot of people might have given up on the Kraken, but I know I haven't. Come on, Joey. And as far as we know, he's not injured, just not locked in and not locked in. And at least we got Grew in there. And yeah, you're right. We might have an opportunity for someone, maybe to swap places with one of our others. Grew. He's trying to fire up the team. Unbelievable. 3 goals? Alex push. Assisted by Thompson. 3-1 Buffalo. Golly. Tough. Not what I was expecting here today. I thought that, it could end up being, maybe we would end up having, I was thinking maybe 6 to 8 goals combined between both teams, but I didn't think that we would have this type of score this early within the first 5 minutes of the matchup. 4 goals. And obviously, when you give up 3, not the ideal situation. Well, I think Van Der Esch, a big part of him retiring was the significant injuries that he had. If he didn't have a lot of the ailing and injuries that kept kind of reoccurring year in and year out, after his rookie year, yeah, I think Van Der Esch could have lasted a little bit longer. But anytime you have neck injuries, you have shoulder, clavicle injuries, you have those type of injuries. Sometimes we talk about ACL, MCL, PCLs, and Achilles, just like in other sports where that might knock your career down and shorten your career. But the same thing can be said for upper body injuries as well. And, that's just the way that it goes. But in all honesty, even if Van Der Esch ended up staying, with the Cowboys, if he ended up staying there, it's not like they were on the cusp of a Super Bowl anytime soon. So, and he's trying to look out probably for his health and making sure he doesn't develop any CTEs. So 3-1 Sabres. Yeah. Yeah. Anytime you end up having, upper body injuries to the brain, to the neck, concussions, blacking out, or stingers, that definitely will end your career a lot sooner. And in all honesty, he could have probably retired even sooner than this, a couple of years ago. Big hit on the boards twice. Nice save by Groove. Nice to see that we can actually fucking save something. Tata, Alexiak, Bjorkström, Belmar, and Borgen. Oh, Bubba. 3-1 Sabres. Anything else that was notable that you guys want to be able to go over? Please do. Blake Snell, 2 years, $62 million with the Giants. It's a lot of money. It's like no wonder the Mariners weren't in the running, and he was just waiting, and hoping for someone else to offer more. But Jesus, like $31 million. I mean, we get it. Blake Snell's a good player and whatnot, but I mean, I guess I would have rather had him stay, with the Padres for at least Elliott's sake. But there was rumors, and that was like the number one spot, and he was probably hoping that someone would match the Giants' number. No one ever did, and we're getting close to the regular season, so he pretty much just ran out of time. So I don't know how that's going to work out for Blake Snell because the Giants usually aren't really the greatest team. They don't have the Lincecum, Buster Posey. They don't really have the same guys that were dominant back then, but we'll see. Man, unbelievable. Can't believe we're getting slapped in the mouth like this. Joey did get pulled. Yeah, Grubauer is in. Yeah, that was the worst performance in net that I've seen all year. Just based off the amount of goals and the short period of time that he was in. And again, after Grew, had some mental health and some physical, health issues, and then we started, Decord, Winter Classic, got that shutout. A couple games later, got another. But then in the last few games that Decord has played, he doesn't look right. So I'm not sure if he's injured or he's just not playing well. And just tough to see. It's one thing to give up a goal, or two over a 20-minute period, but when you give 3 goals up within the first 4 minutes or 5 minutes in the game, as Hack as the head coach, you got to pull. You can't, because at that point, if you're getting 3 in the first 5 minutes, if you keep them in there, I mean, how many goals are Buffalo going to score in that first period? 6 if you don't pull them. So Schultz, Tata, Larson, Belmar, and Brandon Tanev. Let's go. Oh, he is. Yeah. And again, he had no choice. I mean, any coach would have to make that move. Now if we had 3 goals spread out, over a 20-minute period, maybe he gets pulled in the second period or third period, depending on how the flow of the game is, if we're actually scoring goals. But 3 within the first 4 or 5 minutes is ridiculous. But again, it is what it is. I barely could even get a chance to celebrate after Ebbs got his goal for us to score first, and then bang, bang, bang. Thompson, Skinner, Cook, brother. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think, there's no purpose of having to rip into someone. I mean, you already know Joey feels terrible at this point. I think any goalie would. 9 shots on goal for the Sabres, 3 for the Kraken. We are stunned right now, but hopefully we can get the crowd back into it. And if we can get at least another goal in this period and not give up another, we'll have a chance. But again, 3-1 is, the mindset and the mentality, after already being on a 4-game losing streak. I hope that the players aren't thinking for what's for dinner or what am I doing after the game tonight. You have to have everyone focused, even if we're not making the playoffs this year. And that's going to be a big part of Hack, coaching the players up and letting them know you're playing for Seattle, you're playing for yourself, you're playing for the families, you're playing for pride. And hey, if we're not going to make the playoffs, let's not just give up. Let's finish strong, the best that we can. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people in the room. Appreciate you. Not the outcome that I was expecting for the Kraken, but Tolvanen to Borgen, Eberle, Alexiak, Oregon, Tolvanen, Matty Beniers, Grubauer getting in at net after Joey Decord got pulled within the first 5 minutes of the first period, giving up 3 goals. And hopefully someone can light a fire. And I don't know if that's going to be Turbo, and we have to be able to take advantage of some power plays, but a couple big checks into the glass, something to get the crowd into it. Because right now, everyone's sitting on their hands and they're stunned right now. Not a whole lot of noise from the crowd at this moment, which I don't blame them. All right, less than 10 minutes to go in the first period. 3-1 Sabres. Schultz, Bjorkstrand, Burkowski, McCann, Riker Evans. Let's go. We have to find that right line. And that's been a problem, I think, for the Kraken within the last couple of games, just finding the right 5, the right combination to work together. Uh-oh, broken stick. Get up. Belmar. Tatar, Dumoulin, Larson, Belmar, Tanev. Let's go. Calvin in the building. What's good? Tatar. Wide right. Another broken stick. Sticks flying everywhere on the ice. Pick them up. Wow. How many sticks are on the ground? 2, 3? We can't even take advantage of when sticks are on the ground. Damn it. Less than 9 minutes to go in the first period. What's good, Calvin? What do you think about the Chase Young signing? You like it or no? Obviously, it's just like a 1 year prove it deal. And I already knew the Niners were, picking him up off the rental, and more than likely he wouldn't be back. So Jumpman versus Jumpman, they said. Come on, Gru. Head on a swivel. Alexiak goes down. Get up. Uh-oh. Alexiak is down. He is down. He is down. Get up. Oh, he's hurt. He is hurt. He's on his knees. He is hurt. Fuck. Out of play. Why couldn't they have stopped the action after he's on the ground? Boo. Alexiak in distress, on the ground, writhing in pain. And they said, I don't give a shit. You're down 3-1. Tough it up. I hope he's okay. That looked like he took a puck to the stomach. That did not look like it felt that good there. Golly. Well, I was hoping to be able to sprinkle in some more photos of Ebbs and whatnot, and then Thompson, Skinner, and Dush getting those goals. Joey Decord started in that, and it only lasted 4 to 5 minutes. And Philip Grubauer in. Hopefully, he'll end up playing a little bit better, which I think he will. And hopefully, we can find a way to rebound here against the Buffalo Sabres. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Are you thinking that you guys are going to finish in third place for sure? Or do you actually think that you guys will figure it out at some point and should be close to Atlanta and Tampa? Is it going to be a 3-team race, or do you really think it's going to be Tampa and Atlanta running away with it? And then the Saints are going to be in third. But even if you're third place, I mean, how bad are you going to be? You got to think the Panthers are only going to win, what, 1 to 5 games, and then the Saints, Falcons, and Bucks should all be, worst case scenario, for those teams is what, 7 or 8 wins, and then best case scenario maybe 10 or 11, for those 3 teams. But I don't know if I could see the Falcons, Saints, and Bucks losing, more than that. I mean, the worst record would be what, 8-9, 7-10. That would have to be probably the worst, you would think, right? Third for sure. Third at what record? 8-9, 7-10. And then if things go a little bit better than expected, maybe 9-8 and miss the playoffs. What do you think about the money with the deal? Too much? Too little? Prove it deal. So it's at this point of the season, you got to do what you got to do, right? Lexiak, 150 blocks this season, leads the team. But when you take a puck to the stomach and there's not a whole lot of padding underneath there, I can only imagine what that feels like. 11 shots on goal for the Sabres, 4 for the Kraken, 9 hits for Seattle, 7 for Buffalo, and no penalty minutes just yet. But the problem is the Sabres are winning 70% of the faceoffs. We have to improve. Okay, that's what I was thinking too. $10, 90 to go. Up to you, Matt. You got anything on the college football side with Oregon or anything else? College football related, Ducks related, draft related. You let me know. And then any of the signings, if anyone wants to, type those in, Sarah, Matt, any of y'all, based off the, news that happened today. If you want to put in the Blake Snell information, if you want to go over the people that ended up signing today, even if it was lower names, just to let everyone know on the Twitter/X side and the people that are in the room. Like I said, I can end up doing it during intermission, but when the game is on, I gotta call the game and whatnot. Eberle, Schultz, Tolvanen, Beniers, and Evans on the ice. March Madness, yes. Oregon Ducks in. Iowa Hawkeyes, women's, #1 seed. What's the vibe in the Midwest? Do people actually think Iowa has a team good enough to win it all? Or do they think they're going to get to like the Elite Eight or Final Four and they might stumble against a South Carolina team or an LSU type of team? I mean, there's a lot of good teams, that have star players. It just depends on who you root for, I guess. If you're a Paige Bueckers type of fan, are you a Caitlin Clark kind of fan? Are you a Angel Reese fan? And of course, some people have no idea who those people are, but if you're a diehard, fan, you do know. But I do, even though watching basketball on a TV for the NBA is a little rough until we get to the playoffs, going to games in person is much funner. And, when I take Paisley on walks, I have a couple of my childhood parks that barely even get any use anymore. So I'm thinking I might have to go get one of those little thin backpacks that have the string, so that way I can end up getting a new basketball and just have it on my back, and like one of those Adidas or Nike backpacks that have the string, and then just have the basketball with me, because I walk past a couple parks, each time I end up going on my walks, and I've been kind of wanting to shoot hoops, and it's basketball was my first true love, growing up as a kid, and I spent a lot of time. And even just like, doing something as like shooting free throws or, just, shooting around, I do take a lot of joy in that, even though I haven't got a chance to do it as often as I would like. Oh, here we got a fight. Here we go. Another dirty hit there by Buffalo. Let them fight. I mean, we're already down 3-1. We're on a 4-game losing streak. We're not going to the playoffs. It's a battle of the bads, 2 6th-place teams. Just let them fucking fight. Let's go. At least make it entertaining for me and the people watching in the room and on Twitter/X. But someone's getting their ass beat here today, I can tell. Double minor for high sticking. Is that you? Yeah? Well, let's just hope that works out better than USC Bronny, because USC Bronny ain't very good. He might end up making the NBA, even maybe on my Portland Trailblazers on the bench at some point, and then who knows, LeBron James, he's definitely trying to convince, Jeannie Buss and all these other, I want to play with my son type of thing, but I'm not really sure if I would want Bronny and LeBron on the Blazers, to be honest. I mean, of course, it's LeBron James and all, but not sure if I would really want that spectacle. But I know there's a lot of NBA fans that would. If you could get LeBron on the team for a year or two, even if it's an old LeBron, it's going to improve the team as long as he's not ball hogging all the shots. 5 minutes to go in the first period. Eberle, Schultz, McCann, Tolvanen, Matty Beniers. This is a decent line right here. We might be able to get a goal. Yes! Yeah! There we go. My ESP was right. You say it, and then you get it. You just have to look at the combination. But Eberle, Schultz, McCann, Tolvanen, and Beniers, it kind of felt like, okay, we got 3 guys out of the 5. This is a good opportunity. There we go. 3-2. There we go. Matty Beniers with the wrister, and I was hoping Matty was on my thumbnail on the previous, matchup, right? And he wasn't able to get anything done when we ended up going against the Nashville Preds because, but he had to wait one more game, and there he is. Let's go, Matty Beniers. Now the crowd is into it. There we go. Showed him in the pregame. We have to get, a lot of aggressiveness, taking advantage of that power play. Nice job, Matty. Way to be electric, and now we still have a chance in this game, and we're not going to get fucking blown out. 3-2, Sabres. There we go. 4 of the last 7 games. That boy, Matty. Judah in the building. What's good? Oh, okay. Well, USC is just, Southern California. I think SC just goes by SC with South Carolina, even though it would be University of South Carolina, but yeah, South Carolina, I see you. I see you. Judah in the building. How are you? You did, bro. You did. You did. Bro, they had Joey Decord in net, and he gave up 3 goals Ebbs scored like right away within the first minute. And then Joey Decord was in net and literally gave up 3 goals in like 3 separate possessions within the first 4 minutes of the game. He got benched and they threw in Grew. It's the worst, I think, performance I've seen out of a goalie from the Kraken all year. But again, Grew is finding a way to try to be able to minimize the damage, to stop the bleeding, and now we actually have a chance to crawl back into this game. Oh, see, now you're getting into he's all getting into all the women's. Okay, okay, Calvin, I see you. I see you. South Carolina. Yeah, Staley, former WNBA. When you end up getting a stud in high school, stud in college, and then they go to the WNBA, you are going to get some of those ladies that were in the WNBA, and then they say, "Oh, what do I want to do next?" Either coach in the WNBA or go and coach on the college level. So it's kind of cool to be able to see those women being able to show that skill set and that knowledge and pass that down to the younger generation. Calvin might be a Saints fan, but not a whole lot of love for LSU, he says. 3-2 Sabres. Lots of goals here today. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as watching here on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Well, I'm glad that they ended up, not giving up. I mean, we're on a 4-game losing streak, 11 shots on goal for the Sabres, 6 for the Kraken. We got Larson, Burakovsky, Belmar, Tanev, and Evans. It's hard to be able to look at everything, but I've been getting better, being able to kind of, recognize numbers, even though a lot of times with the camera, it's a little bit farther away, to be able to look at the names and whatnot. And luckily, if you end up having, NHL or ESPN, usually if they're, people in their, internet room, based off ESPN, aren't going to the bathroom or taking a break, they usually do a decent job on updating. Sometimes not so much with the scoreboard, but at least with the line changes. Calvin in the building. What's good? What was for dinner tonight? Chicken, grilled chicken, rice, and broccoli. Sounds delicious. Delicious. $1.99. The real wife. Kayla Snowden, Kentucky, still the real wife. $2 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus stack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. How is the anime coming? How's the animation and everything going? Yanni, good save. What do you want to do for a photo? Is that who you want for the photo, or do you want to have Chase Young, someone from the Saints? You let me know. And as a fan of anime, not everyone is. Obviously, when you have someone as significant, as the creator of something big, whether it be Dragon Ball Z or anything that is very, very popular in the anime world, and you have someone that passes away, definitely a sad moment, especially for people, that grow up, with that a part of their life. So, okay, I got you. Dark Side, nice. How many? They're on the 4th episode, I believe. The last one was what, DDP? Was that the last one? All right, we got less than a minute to go. The Von Erichs, yeah. I got to go back and watch all of them from beginning to end. Since I've been so busy, I've only been able to watch like pieces of it, but I haven't got to watch the whole thing. But speaking of wrestling documentaries, Peacock is putting one out for Bray Wyatt April 1st, and it's not an April Fool's Day joke. They did the preview and they had the video, and I ended up sending that information to Sarah and Odin's son, people that really love Bray Wyatt as much as me. And that one looks like it's going to be sad, but it also looks like it's going to be a celebration of his life. So I'm really excited about the Bray Wyatt special through Peacock and WWE, which will be out on April 1st. All right, we got less than 30 seconds to go. Reflect in the building. What's good? How are you, brother? Tripping. Buffalo on that power play. I guess so. I think we are. I think everyone's invited. We're just going to show up, you know. You like that Canzone crush that I sent you? Man, things are starting to look on the up and up for the Mariners. Again, we started off extremely slow, but I think that I think we've kind of found our groove. And yes, I get it. It's preseason baseball, but you have to understand what you do in preseason baseball will carry over. Maybe not for the whole season, but for at least that initial start for like the first 10 games. And sometimes it'll last longer, like maybe the first 50 or 60, like Jared Kelenic had for us last year. But obviously, we made the right move because he's one of the coldest players in Major League Baseball now. And you can tell he's getting into his own head. So, I might not miss him as much as Teoscar Hernandez and Eugenio Suarez, but, it is what it is. Again, sometimes, you're just going to cap out with your talent level. And I think a lot of Braves fans are going to just want to bench him. And I don't blame them. They have other guys that they can end up playing. And he hasn't had the same type of results that he had with the Mariners last season. The guy can't get a hit for the life of him. So definitely we made the right move on that. But I'm still going to miss Teoscar and Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio Suarez the most because of his defense and offense, even though he struck out a lot at third base. But Teoscar will have a great time, on the Dodgers. And Eugenio Suarez playing with Corbin Carroll, you can't ask for a better fit. All right, end of the first period, 3-2 Sabres. All right, let's get some photos up here. I feel that was the most creative person and the most creative character that they came up with. Bray came up with it. That was the most creative character and the most unique character that we had, besides Undertaker, to me, based on, and they dropped the ball with the Fiend. They should have gave him the belt, and again, I know it was kind of like a scary look and maybe some of the kids, didn't react to it the way, that they were looking for, of course, with that kind of, scary look and whatnot, but with the lantern and the mask and everything else that they had going on, he's definitely going to be missed. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Let me see what kind of photos we can get up here. Beautiful smile. Okay, Kayla, I see you. Even my NHL logo don't like it. The score of the game. Not a whole lot of options for me to format with this individual, but if you have another person that I can end up throwing up, I will. Not a lot of stuff that's going to format the screen, though, unfortunately. That might be one of the better ones. Three, 2 Sabres. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people in the room. Reflect with the 3-year. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang, $3 holla. What do you want to do for photos? You want some canzone? Make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Again, I will be an advocate, for not only pets, for dogs and cats, and the, positivity that they bring to your mental health. I'm a great example of that. But making sure that you're checking off the boxes every day, exercising, listening to music, changing your diet maybe a little bit for the better. You'd be really surprised on how that can help you day in and day out if you make minor changes to your lifestyle. Big facts. Pick up on your friends as well. Let's see what I can get here. But Calvin, you got another player or individual that you want other than what we brought up for Kayla? Let me know, and I'll squeeze in a few more, but not a whole lot of photos that I can get formatted for her for whatever reason. Dom. Ooh, Madonna. Nice. Good choice. $2 holla. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Let's go. Mike Modano coming up after I get a couple here for the Mariners from my boy Reflect. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you. 17. 83 to go. Definitely excited about the Mariners' chances this year. It's still going to be a work in progress, but I think it's safe to say that, as long as we don't have any significant injuries, we should be a top 8 team in Major League Baseball this year. And hopefully every year moving forward, that we're one of the top 8 teams, and there's going to be years where we, miss the playoffs like we did last year. But I'm hoping, from here on out, if we can get 90 wins or more, in this Julio era as many times as possible, that's really going to, help us get to our ultimate destination, which is going to be an ALDS, ALCS, and then World Series. And then once we actually hit the 100-win mark, whenever that is, even if it's this year, I know Reflect is gunning for 100 to 105 wins if that everything, ends up going correct and everything ends up going to our liking, right? Once you end up getting 100, that should be the new standard. And I know it's a high standard because 100 wins, 62 losses. How many teams could actually do that? Not very many. Only a handful in Major League Baseball. But once we hit that pinnacle once, I think it will be a standard that we'll try to hold ourselves to. And again, Julio in his prime will be somewhere between year 4 and year 7. So, we're coming up on year number 3. So we still got a few more years until we end up getting to a point where we're going to get the best out of Julio Rodriguez, my boy J-Rod. Let me get a side profile for Dom. Appreciate you. Woo! Crispy. The season is upon us. I'm going to try to find some good Mike Madonos here for Calvin. Let's go, baby. Anything else you want to be able to see reflect? Just, whatever player or whatever you're looking at, let me know. I got you. Keep me busy during these intermissions. And then any other news for football or baseball or wrestling or anything that you guys want to go over, just type it in the chat. Feel free. I think if you watch college basketball, that's like a given every year, that usually the 12 beats the 5, either 3 out of the 4 or 2 out of the 4 every single year. It's just, little patterns on things that you have to check up on. And it literally doesn't even matter who the 5 and the 12 seed is. For whatever reason, the 12 seed always, it seems like, finds a way to beat the 5, either all 4 12 seeds, 3 of the 12 seeds, or at a minimum 2 of the 12 seeds. But I don't think it usually is 1 or none. It's usually 2 or more. At least that's how it's been, at least for the last couple of years, to the best of my recollection. Mike Modano's new statue. Good for them to celebrate him. There for the Dallas Stars. Oh, baby. That's dope. It looks like it based off footage. It looks like, we're really, really focused. Like a lot of guys bulked up in muscle, and anyone that had a little bit of fat on them or, a little bit that they could have lost, it looks like everyone has been doing exactly what they need to do to get ready for the start of the season. But at least we're back in it. So that feels good that we're not down 3-1. We fought back, tried to take the momentum back. Dumoulin, Larson, Gord, Tanev, Grubauer. Come on now. Yeah, I haven't been really to too many concerts, really. I saw Aerosmith in their prime when I was like in 5th grade, something around there, like in the early 90s and whatnot, when they were still going. But I'm not, so I guess the concert experience, I guess it just depends on like the audio, and the way they have everything set up. Because of course, you could end up paying a lot of money to go to a concert and be disappointed just based on how they truly, really sound without all the help with all the electronic equipment, like when they're in the recording studio. Some people still can a cappella, and they could do an amazing job, with music or instruments in the background or not. But I haven't had too many experiences, but Aerosmith was pretty epic for me. That was my first concert as a kid. So MC Hammer, where did you see MC Hammer at? Like, are we talking what arena was MC Hammer performing in back in the day? Wow, Tacoma Dome. Yeah, the only thing I've been to the Tacoma Dome for wasn't necessarily for a concert. It was for wrestling. To like go see The Rock and Stone Cold and whatnot in like the late 90s, early 2000s and whatnot. Three, two, Sabres. Nice to see Maddie get a goal, and nice to see Gru get in there and not give up anything. So we actually have a chance, if we can just find some offensive firepower in the right line, and we might be able to squeak this one out. Maybe we can end up winning 6-5 or something of that nature. But hey, 3-2 is a hell of a lot better than 3-1. Shout out to Maddie Beniers and Jordan Eberle. Shout out to Gru for holding it down after Joey got benched. So nice job there too. All right, let me know what other photos that you guys are thinking, and I got you. Shout out to Cyberpunk helping out on the Twitter/X side, even if he personally isn't that much of a hockey fan. He's definitely going to support me no matter what. So I really do appreciate that. And if there's anybody that does have a Twitter/X account, if you can like or share the live stream, it'll help us out. Right now we have 2 likes and then 1 retweet. So the more people that do it, it'll help us get more numbers. So yeah, in Houston. I'll throw up a Chase Young here for Calvin. Signed with the Saints this morning. 1-year deal. Nice. It's always cool when you can get like some kind of like or response back, from someone that you don't expect that's going to respond back. I know me and Sarah have had some pretty good luck with like NFL players and whatnot. And I usually don't, like make a message, directly to a person. Usually like I might tag someone in it and something of that nature, or like a happy birthday to like Derek Brooks, like my favorite player or something. And I don't expect him to write me back or to like anything back. But, we've had a couple. DeMario Davis. I've had interactions with him, even though I'm a Bucks fan, and Derek Brooks, Ken Jeong, from The Hangover, cool guy. So not a bunch, but a few. And it's definitely cool when you can get some type of response out there, from whoever it is, celebrity or non-celebrity. All right, we're starting the second period, baby. Let's go. Release the Kraken. Defend the deep, baby. Take care of your mental health. Very, very important. Let's go. And we'll get some more photos for Reflect. Maybe some more Mariner players once we get into the second intermission. 10 shots on goal for the Sabres, 9 for the Kraken. Let's go over some stats here real quick. 10 shots on goal for the Sabres, 9 for the Kraken, 12, 13 hits for Buffalo, 15 for Seattle, 4 penalty minutes for Buffalo, 2 for the Kraken. And the big glaring difference right now in the game is the faceoff percentage, 70% to 30%, 70.6 to 29.4. That's tough. Grew with the save. See what kind of line we have. Dumoulin, Larson, Gord, Tanev, Grubauer, because we're still on the power play. Buffalo. Yeah, I already knew that wasn't going to work out, the whole Marcus May thing. I mean, sometimes it sounds good, when you get a player and they've had some type of success, from like the Jets or whatever team that they're from, but at least you guys got to rescue Demario Davis out of Cleveland and and some of the places that he's been, because again, if Demario Davis spent his whole career, where he was, back in the early part of his career, we probably wouldn't even know who he is. So definitely a high scoring first period. 5 goals is a lot in the first period for these two sixth place teams. That is big facts. I agree. But again, we'll probably get a little bit of a slowdown, you would assume. Second period, the defense might be a little bit ramped up. Guys are settling in a little bit. We'll see if we end up having a big, explosion in a fight at some point to kind of get the crowd back into it. But it wouldn't surprise me if we have 2 goals or less scored in this period. And then maybe we get a little ramp up in the third. But you never know. It could end up being just like the first period where we may end up having 2 or 3 goals from each team scored. But we'll find out. Crew has definitely settled in at net. Now, if Joey Decord was still in, yeah, there probably would be 2 or 3 goals scored this period. But, they took him out. Grew has done a great job. And now we're getting a little bit of that offense up. We got Ebbs and we got Maddie with goals. Now we need someone else. Bjorky, Kyler, Schultz, Dumoulin, Tolvanen. I don't know, somebody. Burkowski. Everly, Dumoulin, Larson, Beniers, and Evans. Come on, baby. 11 shots on goal apiece. Let's go. Larson, Bjorkstrand, Burkowski, McCann, Evans. This is a decent line right here with McCann and Bjorky. When you got 2 guys that you can count on that can get you offensive firepower, hopefully they can set each other up here. Oh, McCann saved. Grew with the save. Nice. Good save again by Grew. Grew has got his head on a swivel. He's playing great. If we can just keep this up and if he gives up, let's say, 1 or 2 more goals the rest of the way, we're going to have a chance. But if he gives up more than 2, we're going to lose. If they get 6, we're done. But if we can hold them to 4 or 5, which is going to be definitely hard, but if we find a way to do that, we will have a small chance to come back in this game. But hopefully we can get another goal to tie it up 3-3 here in the next 10 minutes in the second period. We got 15:52 left in the second period. Wayo. Boom, boom, boom. Wayo. Wayo. Come on, Bjorky, I need you. Yanni, I need you. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Crowd's getting back into it. Come on, Turbo. Schultz, Tartar, Dumoulin, Belmar, and Tanev. This one is more of like a kind of a defensive lineup here with this line, but they still have guys that can score. Come on, baby. Let's get those likes up. Let's get to 10, and then let's get to 15. And then if we have enough people that come through, we can get to 20. Again, once they implement, other buttons, on like Twitter/X for the likes, for the shares, for the comments and the donos, that's when everything will come together fully. But yeah, tough. I was born in '82, so I didn't get a whole lot of that as a memory because I didn't really start watching wrestling and sports until like '85 when I was 3. So 3 years old is when I started watching wrestling and basketball, baseball, football. Hockey wasn't until a little bit later, probably around like '88, '89, when I started collecting the cards and whatnot. And then I started collecting cards of pretty much everything. Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, Ninja Turtle cards, the Pro Set Rock cards where they had like Poison and all like the '80 hair bands. They had like these cards that you could buy of like rockers and whatnot. And I was like, ooh, I love these. Pretty much if it was a card, I got it. Pogs, Magic the Gathering, whatever it was, anything card related. If they made a card, I probably had it. All right, baby. 3-2 Sabres. Eberler Larson, Borgen Tolvanen, and Matty Beniers. Let's go. Come on, baby. Get that water. Get that Gatorade, baby. Unfortunate for Joey to get pulled, and his last few starts have been terrible, but hopefully he can find his way out of the funk. Big facts. But at least we know we got at least one guy that we feel that we can count on, at least for short term. Bjorky, you're due for a goal, Bubba. Let's go. Absolutely. And that's why, I'll talk about it every day, multiple times a day, because sometimes even when like the weather is good and you get the vitamin D and you're getting outside and, it's like I'm eating better, I'm taking care of my mind and my body better. I got Paisley, but sometimes even though, everything seems like it's great, you struggle with the battles in your own mind. Sometimes you have no real reason to kind of get down or sad, but sometimes something will trigger, your brain, whatever that might be, and what I've noticed too is like anytime I feel like I'm getting into this like kind of negative thoughts or like a funk, you got to do something about it. Take a shower, do something to kind of uplift you, go for a walk, listen to music. It's like as soon as you sense something is a little off, the faster that you react towards that, the better that you're going to end up being instead of it, having it get worse and worse and worse. So I will always be an advocate, for dogs and cats and pets and what they can do for your mental health, and then also for just mental health in general. So because I felt that way today, like I went on 2 long walks. Got a little bit of sun, got a little bit of color, and then after I got back, me and Paisley were just kind of chilling. And then I don't know, I just kind of got into like a weird kind of mindset for a little bit, but then I, decided, hey, let me take a quick shower, let me start prepping for the stream, let me spend some time with Paisley, and then I got out of it. So, and I have no real reason, at this point, to be, in a funk like maybe I was, when I was with the ex girlfriend before, but you are who you surround yourself around. If you are surrounding yourself around, a toxic partner or toxic friends, that shit really will wear on you, whether you realize it or not. And the better decisions that you can make, sometimes, you can have a friend, but sometimes you have to walk away, for your mental health. You don't want to, go down with certain people, partying too much, making bad decisions and whatnot. Making sure you're taking care of your mental health. Very important every single day. Good defense there by the Kraken. Belmar, McCann, Borgen, Evans. They got a power play again. Come on now. No goals. Yeah, give me a minute. I can do that. $15 shots on goal by the Sabres, 12 for the Kraken. Sabres up 3-2. Power play's just about to end. Dumoulin, Larson, Gord, Tanev. Sabres have lost 4 of the last 5 road games, and I think we've lost, 5 home games? And we're on a 4-game losing streak, so not ideal for either of these 6th-place teams in the Atlantic and the Pacific divisions. All right, Eberle, Dumoulin, Larson, Tolvanen, and Beniers. Let's go, Maddie. You already got 1 goal. Let's go for 2. Last time you had 2 goals was against the Bruins and Judah's team. That'd be great for you to get another goal here today, and we might need it for us to be able to get back into this. Tolvanen high off the glass. Tuck, Thompson, both of them with goals today. As well as Skinner for the Sabres. Definitely proud of Grubauer coming in, though, and kind of helping us get back into this game. Defense has gotten a little bit sharper, too. 10:46 left in the second period. 3-2 Sabres. Four penalty minutes each. 19 big hits for Seattle, 17 for Buffalo, 16 shots on goal for the Sabres, 12 for the Kraken. Face-off percentage is ridiculous, 60% to 40 for the Sabres, but we're trying to chip away at that number. And if we can get that as close to 55-45 or 50-50, we're in business, baby. Less than 10 minutes to go in the second period. 3-2 Sabres. Larson, Gord, Bjorkstrand, Burkowski, and Evans. Let's go. And obviously, Bjorky would be the best opportunity to help us get a goal here. Get that save, There we go. Good job, Gru. Oh, off the crossbar. Wow. Damn it. 4-2 Sabres. Tough. Owen Power. Wrister. Fuck. Let me get an Owen Power photo up for the Sabres fans. Any haters here. Nice job, Owen. Owen Power. 6th goal of the season. 4-2 Sabres. Let's go. Now we have to find a way to answer back. We have to find a way to get a goal in this period or in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the third period to cut that down to 4-3 instead of 4-2 here. All right, Owen. Are you kidding me? Skinner scores. Damn it. This one might be over. 5-2 Sabres. Fuck, man. Every fucking game. Skinner with a goal. I mean, can't I just, soak in Owen Powers' goal? No. And then all of a sudden, Skinner with a goal. Grubauer looking like fucking Joey Decord now. Tough. All right, let's throw up a Jeff Skinner here as well because we ain't haters. Jeff Skinner with the wrister. How are you going to let him score that quickly? Even the NHL logo doesn't fucking like it. Nice job. 5-2 Sabres. That one hurt. That one hurt. Before the Skinner goal, after the Skinner goal. Damn, Hack looks like he's going to pull his hair out. I don't blame him. Eberle, Dumoulin, Larson, Tolman, and Beniers. So Joey Decord gives up 3 goals in 4 minutes, gets pulled, and then Gru did a great job coming in for the first 15 minutes in the first period, and then the first 10 minutes in the second period, and then it fell apart. And now we're looking at a 5-2 game, and shit, it's very highly unlikely we even get to 5. We might be able to get to 4 by the time the game ends. Maybe a goal this period and a goal in the third period, or maybe 2 goals in the third period. But the chance of Buffalo stopping, their scoring attack is highly unlikely based on how we're playing in net right now. Oh, nice. Birthday. I got some good ones too. Pat McAfee, same birthday. Dwayne Johnson, same birthday. And then who else? There's another famous soccer player, David Beckham. Lauren in the building. What's good? Yeah. I mean, like I said, it all starts with the Kraken in net. When we're good in net, we can compete with anyone in the NHL. Even if we're sitting in 5th or 6th place in the division, as long as they're bringing that energy. But again, it's like if you're going to be giving up, 4 goals or more, not every game we're going to be able to have that kind of offensive firepower to match, someone putting up 4, 5, 6, 7 goals. It's not really in our DNA yet based off the players that we have. So, and, it really sucks is, Yeah, but again, being a Pacific Northwest fan, I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, pretty much the Kraken, the Mariners. I mean, besides maybe like as far as like college football is concerned, it's a little different. With the Ducks and the Beavers and Cougars and Huskies, and then obviously with the Seahawks and the Pacific Northwest. But I feel like there's a lot of similarities to the Kraken and the Mariners. From good games and bad games and struggles. But again, if you build the team the right way, eventually you'll be able to take that next step. And sometimes you end up going to the playoffs maybe a year early, like we ended up doing, in Julio's rookie year. And then when we ended up going a couple years ago, obviously when we made that run and then, ended up beating the Avalanche in 7 and losing to the Stars. But if you go back, sometimes, you have the right combination of players, you overachieve, and maybe you're about a year early or 2 years early. But then if your team isn't really as good, game in and game out, eventually you'll, kind of go back to reality where this is really where your team is. And you still got a long ways to go before you're considered, being one of the top teams in the division. So, but I still have a lot of hope, from the Kraken. But again, the way that the roster sits currently, we need more. Bottom line, we need to figure out, what the best steps are based off the 3 goalies that we have, and if they're going to be a part of the future or not. And then, a little bit more offensive firepower. And I wouldn't mind to have a couple more, defenders like Turbo, to kind of be like, the disciple, the guys that, are going to be the aggressor, the defenders, the enforcers. And again, it takes time to be able to build a championship contender. Anyone will tell you that. Like I said, it's not going to be something that happens overnight. It takes time. 7 minutes to go in the second period, 5-2 Sabres. 1 out, bases loaded, hitting into double play syndrome. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We can't all be Vegas. Exactly. You know exactly what I'm thinking. Sucks though, in this is going to be the Sabres' first win against the Kraken. This is the only team that Kraken has been undefeated against since their beginning of their existence. So we're about to take our first L to Buffalo ever, unless we can get on some kind of hot streak here in the third period and the end of the second. The 3 favorite memorable moments haven't happened yet. A, get a job. B, get a computer and a microphone. C, get a better internet. Then you can stream what you buy. And also, like fucking actually getting a Twitter X account. I told you you'd be all over it. I mean, it's really the only app that I really read and I'm on all the time. It gives you one place, depending on who you follow, where you get all your information. Like, I don't need to go to Bleacher Report or ESPN or the NFL app. I mean, do I still go to those things? Yes, but I kind of go through like a rotation in my apps. I do email, Facebook, Twitter. But Facebook, ESPN app, Twitter, X, Instagram, MLB app, NFL app, YouTube, and then I kind of just do that and I just refresh and go in a circle. But the ones that I typically use like all the time. I mean, I don't really, Facebook is Facebook, but I don't really like it that much. And I'm not really big on Instagram either. Really, I like YouTube and I like Twitter/X, and that's really it. Those are really the only ones I really love. 5 minutes to go in the second period. Tata, Bjorky, Burakovsky, Yamamoto, and Evans. We need to get Kyler some more ice time. Only 6 minutes so far in this whole matchup. Riker's got doubled up the minutes than Yamamoto. Come on, Kraken. If we can get it to 5-3, we're going to have a very, very, very small chance. Can't even take advantage of the damn power play. Tata and Bjorky, let's go. Broken stick for Burakovsky. Come on! Come on, Burakovsky. Trap that zone. Let's go. Nice pass. Oh! Gosh, can we get somebody close enough for a rebound, please? Another shot. Good save. No, they haven't said good save. No, they haven't had an update on him yet. I mean, it looked like he just got hit in the stomach with the puck and whatnot and went down, but Lukanen says no. Oof. Dumoulin, Larson, Belmar, Tanev, and Cartier. Let's go. Yeah, but we haven't heard anything yet. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people in the room. Shout out to you on YouTube. 5-2 Sabres. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Support your boy. Which guy? Which guy are they bringing in? Man, tough matchup today. Somebody's got to step up. Yanni? Hello? Bjorky? Maybe Belmont? Somebody. Somebody's got to step up. Let's go. Tolvanen? Somebody. Larson? Let's go. Swaggy photo. Thursday night against Vegas. Woo! ESPN, too. CG in the building. What's good? How are you? All right. Eberle, Dumoulin, Larson, Tolvin, and Beniers. Oh, Antonio Gibson. I mean, Washington always has athletic players, but they don't have discipline. So it's like you got the athletes out there like Scary Terry McLaurin, you got running backs, wide receivers, you got a lot of athletes out there, but they're just it shows you it's like a dysfunctional family. And if you don't have the proper coaching, then that's exactly what you get with Washington. You have a lot of these athletes. You're in a tough division, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and the Giants. But if they actually had good coaching, they might be able to, compete for the division more times than not. Because like with them, it's like them and the Giants, it's like every 5 years they win the division just because the Eagles and Cowboys either play like shit, get hurt, or they just have a really good team that year. But, as you're looking at the teams, it's, as of late, it's, normally going to be Cowboys and Eagles, Eagles and Cowboys. But every once in a while, you're going to get a Giants or a Washington team that might get a wild card, but it's not going to be every year. It's usually like every 4 to 5 years they, will do something. But maybe it'll change, moving forward. So it's up above me on the screen there. 5-2 Sabres. I always find it so interesting when people ask what the score is when the score is on the screen. Especially before when we didn't have the scoreboard. When we didn't have the scoreboard and it was just on the ticker, then I could understand. But right there, power play for the Kraken. I mean, hell, if people can't see the scoreboard above me, maybe I should take it away. Gibson's okay. He's not a Hall of Famer or like a Pro Bowl player or anything like that. I mean, he would be like an RB2. I'm not sure if I would want Gibson to be my starter. But maybe a change of pace back is more natural for his role because he was the starter and then he got benched for Robinson, and then never really regained his starting position from that. So he's really more of an RB2 or change of pace back. Scoreboard is small? First time I've heard that. I guess it just depends on what device you're watching it on your phone or on a tablet or on a TV or on a computer. Tata, Bjorky, Burakovsky, Yamamoto, Evans. Come on, Riker. Oh, what a save by the Sabres. Luukkonen. No, I'm not upset by the score. Free Dalahala. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $3 Let me know what you want to do for photos. I got you. I'm already used to the Kraken losing almost every game, so we're not making the playoffs. We're out of it. So Dumoulin, Gord, Borgen, Tanev, Cartier. Get that save. Nice save by Grew. Watch yourself, Judah. Understand who you're talking to. Less than a minute to go in the second period. 5-2 Sabres. Most of the people that say that type of thing, though, are either trolling or, acting a certain type of way. And that's why I get irritated when people say that, because it might genuinely be someone, saying it that is like that. But I've already had like 10 people, say that type of thing, in the last 6 months. And I mean, hell, if you can't see the scoreboard above me, I don't know what to tell you. So that might not be the case with you, but I've already had to go through the scoreboard thing many, many, many times, and it just kind of gets irritating. Now, if you got an eyesight issue or something like that, then that's different. But I've already had so many people go over that. It's just kind of old. End of the second period, 5-2 Sabres. All right, Reflect. Let me know what you want to do for photos. I got you. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. As the years go on, if they can make the right adjustment, get the right players, and they can get it done. Obi with the deuce, nice. He didn't really do anything against us, but we still ended up losing 2-1 a couple days ago. Still getting it done at that age and getting closer and closer to that Wayne Gretzky number, for goals. So definitely exciting to see where that ends up. Yeah. But the thing is also too, compared to the Mariners and the Kraken, sometimes it's about the man and who they are. And if it's a team fit, And I feel that with Hack, even if we might not be getting all the wins right now, that's the type of guy that I feel Pacific Northwest fans. I mean, if you're up in Canada and you're, up there repping the Blue Jays and the Mariners and you're there, that's fine. But as far as people that are here in Oregon and Washington and people that are watching every game and, they're invested, this is the guy. This is the right guy for us. If anything, if we need to make a goalie change, try to find some new goalies. We need to find some more offensive players. Fine. But this is the last thing that we need to move on the team, in my opinion. I think that this is the right fit for the team, at least, for now, for the next couple years. Now, 10 years from now, is he still going to be, the head coach of the Kraken? Maybe, maybe not. But for the next 3 or 4 years, this is the guy that can help us get to the point. And again, it's not like he hasn't had any success. And again, we don't really have a team to match up at this point to the upper echelon of the NHL. I mean, we're not the Vegas Golden Knights, and we're never going to be. At least not for in the short term. In the long term, we might be, but everything takes time. Not everything is going to be a championship season or a contender right away. Big facts. All right, I'm going to go with some Mariner photos here for Reflect. What do you want to do for photos, Reflect? You got anyone specific that you want? I'll start off with JP, and then we'll go from there. 5-2 Sabres. Oh, okay. I got you. Oklahoma State and the University of Oregon. 2023 in May, won the Wells Fargo Championship for his first PGA Tour win. The following month, he won his first major, the 2023 US Open. Definitely. I think that, like I told you before, when we were having that conversation too, with Polanco and Garb. I mean, those two guys alone, if they have great seasons, that could help us win 5 to 10 extra games throughout the year. So definitely excited to see, what the newbies do, and hopefully we can find a way to get it done. Yeah, yeah. That is true. That is true. We'll have to figure out nicknames for like the new players, and usually I'll go through, and some of them we're already going to have the nickname that's already given to them, as they were young or by the guys that are already there. But I imagine we'll end up having a few nicknames that will come up, and or some kind of original nicknames that we can have as well. Let me see what I get. Some Polanco. Polanco, baby. And I think that like when the moves were like initially made, a lot of Mariner fans were very reluctant, to be like, what are we doing? Getting rid of all these like big names and then bringing in these other guys. But again, it's all about, stats and analytics and production, rather than name recognition. Name recognition is only going to get you so far in popularity. But just because you're a name and you're popular, if your stats aren't good, eventually you have to move on. You don't want to hang on to guys that are just popular, if it's not going to end up getting you what you want at the end of the day, is, trying to be able to win, the American League, and, go from the ALDS to the ALCS to the World Series. And we're trying to transition from 80 to 88 wins, and then we're trying to go to that next stage, 90 to 95, and then obviously 95 to 100, and then 100 to 105. And ultimately, if we can get to that point, then we can hit 100 wins and we go 162. That'll be the new standard. We might have to settle for 95, at some point before we get to the 100, and it's going to be difficult. The American League is very deep. But as far as the players that we brought in, it almost feels like a kind of a money ball situation where we're trying to go for maybe not the most popular names, the most money. We weren't going to ever get Snell or Otani, but based on watching the guys that we have brought in, I think most Mariner fans are very excited. That we chose the right guys, and normally we have a lot of questions with the front office not spending money, but it seems like if we can end up winning the division or at least making the playoffs this year and winning something between 90 to 100 games or 90 to 105, depending on how good the pitching is, and if we can end up being really good in one-run games, if we can be really good in extra inning games, if we can end up getting more than 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits. That is kind of like the MO for the Mariners. So if we can do that, we're going to have a good chance not only to make the playoffs, but we're going to have a good chance to surprise everybody and possibly even win the division over the Rangers and the Astros, which you got to give those guys credit. They're great. Both of those teams are great, but I feel that our pitching staff is just as good as anybody's in Major League Baseball, not just in the American League, but in the National League. Most people think the Mariners starting five is either the best in Major League Baseball or top five, just depending on if you like Seattle or not, or if you're a hater and drinking the haterade, or you think that, they may be worse. But again, the writing is on the wall. Now we just have to go out there and execute, and hopefully, we can end up winning the division. And if we don't, hopefully we can end up at least making the wild card. So Jorge, baby. I feel he's going to be a big fan favorite too. It's all about production, and it doesn't matter who you are. You're left-handed, right-handed. It doesn't matter. Nothing as long as you're able, to be able to be productive. Those are the guys, and some of these guys are already starting to show some, early stages of being fan favorites. Going into the regular season for the Mariners. Alex Ovechkin, 2 goals versus the Flames, 19th consecutive season with 20-plus goals. Ovechkin goals against 174 different goalies, third all-time. Ovechkin, you're a stud. Nikita Kucherov, first star of the week, 7 points in 2 games. I still haven't got a chance to do too many of Lightning games, but I really want to. He's probably one of my favorite players in the league that I haven't got to do. I haven't got to do a lot of Kucherov games, but I definitely will once we go to the playoffs. And then Mitchell Mana did not travel on the road trip, high ankle sprain for the Maple Leafs. News and notes this season. Nice. One 162 and 0, huh? Oh man. I mean, honestly, I was talking with Reflect last night, and I was telling him, hell, if we get 100 wins, I don't care. 100 is a big deal. 162, 100 wins, 62 losses. Like, I'll be jumping for joy once we can get to that, and that becomes the standard. Even hitting 95 is awesome, but again, 100, having triple digits, really will signify like how good you really are. And you got to think, how many teams are really going to get over 100 wins in Major League Baseball? 5 or less, more than likely. And sometimes it's only a couple. A lot of times you got to hit about 90 to hit the wild card, and then you're going to have teams like the Dodgers and the Braves. You could probably count those two teams at 100 to 115 wins. But again, what about the other teams? Who's going to be the other 2 or 3 that are going to have a chance? And if the Mariners pitching and hitting can, get off to a fast start this season, and I'm not saying that we need to start the season crazy like 50 wins, 10 losses in the first 60 games, but it'll be very interesting to see where we can be. I mean, if you could end up even being like, 45 and 15, something like that, just to kind of, hey, we're here, and I know that might even, or even 40 and 20, 40 wins, 20 losses. I mean, that's a big deal, if you're doubling up your win to loss ratio and whatnot, but, we'll have to wait and see. We've been disappointed a lot being Pacific Northwest fans, but again, we're going to have joy too. And whenever the teams are good, right, in the Pacific Northwest, whether it be the Ducks or the Huskies, the Beavers or the Cougs, the Mariners, the Kraken, the Seahawks, whatever, I don't really want to say Blazers because we're not going to be very good for quite some time, but usually it takes time to build. And then once we build it, right, then when we're really good, we're really good. Like, we're going to be championship contender. But again, it takes us a lot longer than a lot of other teams because, in all honesty, in the Pacific Northwest, we're a small market. Not a lot of players, are going to want to come to some of these teams in the Pacific Northwest. We don't have the Pac-12 anymore, so we don't have to necessarily worry about that anymore. We're joining the Big Ten with like the Huskies and the Ducks and Trojans. So we'll see how it, and then obviously with the Bruins and UCLA, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up, turning out. Eventually, hopefully, we get to a point where the Kraken are making the playoffs, at least every other year, and then hopefully the Mariners can get to a point where we're a top 5 team in Major League Baseball for like a 5 or 6 year stretch, and then if we can do that in Julio's prime, we're going to have a chance for a couple ALDS or ALCS opportunities. And then if we can cash in there, hopefully we can end up making a World Series with the Mariners, sometime in the next 5 to 10 years. But who knows? It could be even closer than we think. Hell, it could be next year. You just don't know. This upcoming season, you don't know. You have the Sonics gear. Nice. What do you got for Sonics gear? You got Gary Payton jersey. You got a T-shirt. You got Sean Kemp. What do you got for your Sonics gear? Just like hat and T-shirt, just matching. Or do you got like jerseys or anything from the Sonics? When I usually go to Blazer games, anytime I see someone with Sonics gear, I'll talk to them or I'll comment on their jersey just because you don't really see too much Sonic stuff. But most of the time when I go to Blazer games, if I see Sonics gear, most of the time it's either Kevin Durant, like rookie, jersey, or it'll be like Gary Payton or Sean Kemp most of the time. But you don't see it too often. Let's do it, man. He said 105. He said, I got a Sean Kemp basketball card at Simply Seattle and a Durant jersey. Nice. I only brought up jersey because you feel like, you got a few, different hats and shirts and jerseys. A Peyton. Nice. Peytons are more rare in the Pacific Northwest than Kemp, and obviously Kemp is like the showstopper. I mean, unless you're a Beaver fan like my boy Marcos, and you have the Beaver connection and whatnot. But the Gary Payton jerseys are equally as dope. Sometimes even more dope than the Kemp because they're more rare. All right, let's go into the third period, baby. Yeah, the glove, man. I love defense too, and he was an offensive powerhouse. It's not like that many people could actually guard him. He was great on offense. He was great on defense. He was a great passer. I mean, him and Sean Kemp with those alley oops, that was something else. They were one of the first ones that were really doing that on that level. And then obviously when we had CP3 and Blake Griffin, I ended up seeing a Blake Griffin highlight reel like 2 days ago. My God, when that guy was in his prime, it was CP3 and the Clippers. Oh my gosh, Blake Griffin was an animal. Sometimes you forget how good these guys were, dunking wise and athletic wise as time goes on. You remember, some moments, but after time passes, like I always see Sean Kemp stuff on my Twitter/X or Instagram feed where they'll have like a Sean Kemp all great, like, all time highlight reel with Gary Payton. And most of the time, if it's like a 3-minute highlight reel, I'll watch the whole thing just because even though I've seen some of the famous dunks that he's done, dunking on other guys, it's just cool to be able to see that type of athleticism where you're seeing guys head above the rim and jumping in the air and maneuvering and contorting their body in ways that only a few people could do. Not everyone is going to be born to be Sean Kemp or Vince Carter or Dominique, to be able to have that type of ability. All right, here we go. We're down 5-2 in the third period. The real Lob City. Yes, agreed. All right, what do we got in here? We got Schultz, Dumoulin, Bjorky, Burakovsky, and McCann. Let's go. Grubauer with the save. Jamie is on 6 shifts, 4 minutes on the ice, 1 block. All right, Jamie is back in. 150 blocks this season, and he sacrifices his body more than anybody on the Kraken, and sometimes he'll get hurt. I mean, hell, taking a puck to the face, a puck to the chin, a puck to the gut, the puck to the midsection, tough. And this is a big stat right here with Dunn. We're 1-7-1 without Vince Dunn. So it shows you how important Dunn is to the team. 23 shots on goal for the Sabres, 16 for the Kraken. We need Dunn back immediately. Xavier McDaniel, that's a good one. Olden Polynice, Dana Barros. I mean, I can name drop for days if you want to go back to the old school days. Well, speaking of X-Men 97 is coming up here on Disney Plus, which is the continuation of the cartoon that I watched when I was a kid. It comes out 2 days on Disney Plus, so I would recommend watching that if you're a fan of the X-Men cartoons in the 90s like I am. And then there's a new Star Wars coming out, obviously all original, story and whatnot. And I saw a couple things of that. No trailer yet. I haven't seen anything on that, but just a couple posts, through the Star Wars, on my timeline and whatnot. So, but anything Star Wars related, I'm definitely watching. Alexiak, Burakovsky, McCann, Morgan, and Tanev. Yeah. The crazy thing is that the guy that directed the X-Men 97 already got fired. They were going to do like a couple seasons and they fired him. I was reading an article about that. And So we'll see, how long that progresses. But the original person that was doing the project, they fired him. So I don't know if we're only going to get one season or if we're going to get multiple. But I love the X-Men cartoon when I was a kid. Like that was my. I mean, for me, it was more Transformers, GI Joe, the Real American Hero, Ninja Turtles. Those are my three in like the '80s, and then my two favorite in the '90s were Batman the animated series, and then X-Men. So it's kind of cool now that, and I just finished the X-Men, rewatching it from the beginning to end, just about a month ago. So I'm very excited. I don't have a Disney Plus right now, but that might be worth it for me to have it for a month and binge it. So Gambit for days. And I love the original X-Men arcade game where it's got like 6 joysticks at the ground control in Portland. They actually have a machine, and me and my buddy have beaten it before. But the best is when you can actually play with 4 other strangers, so you can actually have 6 people on it at the same time. Nothing cooler than that. There's no other game, to my knowledge, that has 6 joysticks available at the same time with the characters. And even though it's a game from like 92 to 94, it's very early 90s, the graphics and the movement of the arcade, characters is awesome. Like if I ever got rich, I would definitely buy that machine. It would probably be like NBA Hang Time, NFL Blitz dual machine. That would be first, on my list. Hydro Thunder would definitely be on the list, and a few others, but it's definitely a cool game, especially if you have friends. Spider-Man 94. Alexiak, Gord, Borgen, Tanev, Cartier. Turtles and yeah, I play all the Turtles game. We like me and my buddy when we go. Turtles is very big. Like I was actually watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles season 3. I've watched 1, 2, and 3. That's available through like Prime or one of these things. One of my subscriptions and whatnot, where you can watch the cartoons. But anytime they have the arcade games, me and my buddy, try to beat every single one that they have. 1, 2, the arcade game. And then they have a newer one through like the Nickelodeon series that's got amazing graphics. It's one that just came out like a couple years ago, and I just beat that arcade Turtles game with my buddy like a week ago. It definitely took us a while to beat it. Usually the games take about 45 minutes to an hour to beat, and you probably are putting in $10 to $15 each to beat it. But it's better to do that and stick with one game rather than bouncing around and just playing like a couple minutes and moving from system to system, game to game. Usually we try to beat a game every time we go. And even though it was the Nickelodeon version, the updated graphics and special maneuvers that they have, amazing. And that machine isn't available everywhere across the globe. Only certain people have the money, and it looks like it's a pretty expensive machine too, as far as an arcade machine, because it's a newer one. Looking in with the save. Yeah, arcade machines are really big here in Oregon, just like strip clubs and like wineries and breweries. I don't know, we got a lot of strip clubs. There's all kinds of wineries and breweries, but the arcade machines and like the places, it's a big deal out here. So usually at that place, it's packed every day, Monday, through Sunday. There's always people in it, and it's 2 stories, and they serve beer and food there too. So, and they got cup holders where you can have the beers, in the cup holder, that they attach to the machines. Awesome. So that way, if you want to drink and play the game, you don't even have to do anything besides just put it in the holder, not actually on the machine where it can slide down. So, and they have a good selection of old stuff and new stuff. So like for me, I'll do like a little bit of pinball, for like the vintage stuff, but most of the time we're going to be looking at the vintage games as well as the newer games too. That's a strip club arcade right there. It's the duo that we never knew we needed, huh? A brewery, winery, strip club, arcade. I would prefer the arcade. Not really big on the strip clubs. Yeah, 80s and 90s are undefeated. Matt at 20 years old got offended like he was my dad. He said, "Strip clubs?" Question mark. Oh, dog. No, I don't go to strip clubs. And even when I was younger and friends like persuaded me and wanted me to go, it really wasn't for me. I feel it's kind of just waste of money, you know. And it's like honestly, it's not for me, you know. I'd rather spend time with a good friend and have a good meal, you know. Go to an arcade, go to an event, go to a game, go to a movie, go to a restaurant and have good conversation, you know. Clothes are required. But the amount of games that this arcade has, I mean, it's a huge building too. I mean, it's got a front and it's got like a middle, and then it wraps around to a back end. There's like the little bar area, and then you go upstairs, and then they have like some of the pinball stuff up there. But like you literally could go there for 5, 6, 7 hours and not be bored at all. Like, and most of the time when I go there, we go there first, and then we eat, and then we go to a Blazer game, or we go to like Voodoo Donuts, and we try to implement as many fun things at one time. But a lot of times the Voodoo Donut line is too long, so we don't end up usually doing that often because it's like if we are on a timetable to eat, I don't want to sit in line to get donuts for a fucking hour. Are the donuts worth it? Depending on the ones that you get, yes. But again, it's like not many people are willing to wait for an hour for donuts. But I guess if you have the time to blow and waste, then and if you're gonna get donuts from Voodoo, you don't get one. You have to buy like 12, and to make it worth it for waiting in line. So it's like me and my buddy will buy 12, split six, eat one, right away, and then to save the rest for family or later on that night or the next day. But their donuts are pretty amazing, because they experiment more than a lot of other places in Oregon and Washington. So you'll get like different toppings on top with like cereal and whatnot, and things that you never would have thought that you could put in a combination for a donut. But I've never had a bad donut experience there. It's just I don't like waiting in line for an hour unless we have time to kill. Eberly, Schultz, Larson, Tolvanen, and Beniers 5-2 Sabres. Kraken power play. Eberle, Schultz, Tolvanen, and Beniers, and Riker Evans. Because the line is never short, because it's like the most popular donut place in the Pacific Northwest. There's people in the Midwest, East Coast, and overseas that have heard about it. Some people don't like it, they talk shit about it and whatnot. But until you actually have gone there and experienced it, but there's always a line, like always. As soon as they open, it's like right there in the heart of Portland and downtown. And some of Portland is dangerous, and obviously I wouldn't live there. But I've never gone past that place, and I've never seen it with no line. There literally is a line every single day. It's just one of those places it's a super popular place, and it's gained more steam, based off social media and gaining a reputation. But like I said, the shortest line that I have ever seen with that probably still had 20, 30 people in it, and sometimes it'll go down the block. Like there's certain people that are going to be in the building, and then the line wraps around like down the block, like it's like you're going lining up for a concert or something. And I imagine maybe there's going to be certain times where there isn't a line, or not as long of a line. But every time that I've been around there, depending on the day, I have never seen it without a line. It's that popular. It's not a regular donut shop. It's like the most high end popular place in Oregon. So people, and there's other places that you can go, but again, as far as the custom specialty stuff, these other places don't compare. It's the dough and it's the toppings. So I wish I could go there without a line. That would be great. But most of the time when we end up going there, it ends up just being we'll walk past it and we're like, nope. You know, like donuts are great, but I mean, you better be willing to wait. And I don't know how many people, even if you're a donut lover, if you would be willing to wait an hour or hour and a half for donuts. Kind of ridiculous. At that point, I would just rather go to a restaurant or go have a beer with my buddy, or spend more time at the arcade. Like spend another hour at an arcade and try to beat a Ninja Turtle game with my buddy, or wait in line for an hour for donuts. Usually the arcade wins. So, oh my gosh, you have no idea. Bacon wrapped donuts, cereal toppings on the donuts. I mean, ridiculous stuff. You take one bite into it and you're just like in heaven. I'm a big fan of maple bars too, but then it's like they have the maple with the bacon and additional things. It's like a Cold Stone Creamery or Baskin Robbins on top of a donut store, and everything is like merged together. It's just crazy combinations that they have there. And everything is fresh. They don't have any old stuff, so that's why the line always forms, because they only have so much and the line is always there. They're not going to have old stuff just to sell, like from the previous night or anything. All right, Kraken power play here. Schultz, Tanev, Tolvanen, and Beniers, Evans. Now we got a line change. Eberle, Schultz, McCann, Tolvanen, and Beniers. Let's go. If we're lucky, we might be able to get to 4. Oh, nice shot by Maddie, but saved. He said Canadian maple syrup. But I know that a lot of the ingredients are a little bit different. So, come on, Yanni. 26 shots on goal for the Sabres, 24 for the Kraken. I think the only things that really get me in heaven, it won't be a bite of a donut. It'll be front row at a Ducks game. That's my heaven. There's only going to be a few things of heaven, but me at a Mariner game, getting a foul ball or being front row for the Ducks game, right behind the bench, right in front of the cheerleaders, right on the Duck Vision board, with the chain and the gloves. That's my heaven. Donuts are close, but not as much of a heaven experience than being at a Mariner game or a Duck game. That's my heaven. Bjorky with a shot, saved. Oh, no, I have not. Anything Star Wars related, I am big fan. Rooftop in the building. What's good? 10 minutes to go in the third period. 5-2 Sabres. 80 to go. I bet. I mean, we're finally getting closer and closer to baseball. So, regardless of what it is, it's exciting. We're finally getting there. I just wish the time difference wasn't, uh, you know, such a disparity. It'd be nice to be able to try to squeeze in some of these, other games and whatnot, and hopefully the Mariners have a fantastic season, so that way that not only you can gain some ground, Trident can gain some ground, and I can gain some ground too. We need to be able to have our own little Mariners click and gain obviously notoriety and followers based on what we're doing here in the Pacific Northwest. So just a matter of time. and then hopefully we can end up being a top 8 team, moving forward in MLB. So, and then as soon as we get to an ALDS and then an ALCS and then a World Series, and things are going to be shaping up quite nicely. And hopefully we can get 95 to 105 this year and really show people. If we can win the division over the Rangers and Astros, will be very difficult. But you have to think, based on how we're positioned, it's not that crazy to think that it could happen in the next 3 years, and it could even happen as soon as this year. So lots of excitement, and I like the moves that we've been making, and I'm very excited to see how things play out. Baseball is very close to being back. 28 shots on goal for the Kraken, 27 for the Sabres. Eberle, Alexiak, Borgen, Cartier, and Beniers. Let's go. Game at 3 a.m. Yeah. All right, take care. Schultz, Bjorkstrand, Burkowski, Borgen, and Beniers. Bjorky and Beniers on the ice at the same time will give us an opportunity as long as the line doesn't change. It's like we have to be able to find at least 2 out of the 5 that we feel confident that could, potentially get a goal for us. And sometimes it might be one of the, guys that's a little bit lower, but now we got Schultz, Bjorky, Burkowski, McCann, and Evans. McCann and Bjorky. Let's go. I would like to see a line with McCann, Bjorky, and Maddie all in together, but again, with the wingers and the defensemen, you got to be able to have it even out. Couple defensemen, couple right wingers, left wingers. Oh, they closed the hotel. Take care. 7 minutes to go. Nice save by Grew. 7 minutes to go. Come on, Kraken. Find a way. Play for pride here. I mean, try to at least get to 4 if we're not going to win. If we can get to 3 and have it be 5-3, and then maybe when we, have an open net, and then we can get a cheap one, kind of towards the end. But we're getting beat up out there. Let's go, baby. Damn, that didn't last very long. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as the people on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Oh, Bjorky, you're due, man. Bjorky hasn't had a goal in a minute. They've made a line change. Dumoulin, Larson, Yanni Gord, Brendan Tanev, and Yamamoto. Let's go, Yanni. Throw a Kyler photo up. Maybe we'll get a goal out of Kyler. Lots of upsets going to be in the March Madness tourney. Have you done a bracket, Sarah, for the men's and the women's? Like, have you like played around with the brackets yet? I was gonna say, who do you got in your final four for the women's and the men's, if you've done it yet? Line change: Alexiak, Gord, Borgen, Tanev, and Cartier. Let's go, Jamie. 6 minutes to go. 5-2 Sabres. And this is going to be the first time the Kraken has ever lost to Buffalo in their existence. So at some point it was gonna happen. I just wish it wasn't tonight. But both teams have been struggling mightily, and both teams are not going to be in the playoffs. But again, you want to be able to finish the season strong for the fans, and obviously for the players themselves and the coach. Yeah. Do you think Iowa can make it to the Final Four for the women's with Caitlin Clark? I mean, the farther they go, the more pub and more recognition. So I mean, it would be awesome if they can make it to the championship game or at least the Final Four. I'm hoping that they can get to that point. Very, very bare minimum Elite Eight, but it would be awesome to see them go farther than the Elite Eight if possible. But it will be tough. Well, I don't think a lot of people watch college basketball, men's or women's, unless you're a diehard fan for one of those teams, like maybe like Sarah with Iowa and whatnot. But if you have a favorite college basketball team for men's or women's, but with all the other things that we watch, it's not really on my priority list until we actually get to, March Madness. But I used to watch it like a lot back when I was in my NBA, times. I was watching a lot of college basketball, maybe like cartoons and college basketball when I was a kid. North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, Jamal Mashburn, Bobby Hurley, Christian Leitner, Grant Hill, even the little Jerry Stackhouse, Rasheed Wallace era, Eric Montross, and then even going back earlier with like Jordan and Sam Perkins and whatnot. Jamal Mashburn, that was my guy. Oh yeah, Fab Five, Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Jimmy King, and then what? Ray Jackson. I don't even know how the fuck I remember that, but again, that was big. And then obviously that started the era with the big baggy shorts. Did I own a pair of Michigan baggy shorts? You bet your ass I did. I love that shit. That shit was awesome. But then it got a little ridiculous for like the NBA players a couple years later when you had like TJ Ford. It's like, not even that tall. And then like the shorts went down to like literally his ankles. That was a little ridiculous when we had the college basketball and the NBA players when they had it for about a year or two where everyone wore the baggy instead of just like a team or two. But the Fab Five was amazing to watch. UNLV running Rebels with Greg Anthony, Stacey Ogman, Larry Johnson, little grandmama, the good old days. Joe Smith, Maryland. I mean, I like the baggy shorts, but again, if you go back and look at pictures online, if you're a short player and then the baggy shorts almost go down to your ankles and your shoes, it doesn't even look like shorts. I don't, that was. I mean, if you're a taller player, you can get away with it, but for the shorter player, I mean, kind of looked. You know, looked a little suspect. But I definitely like the baggy look, but I guess you have to have a certain height based on the length of your shorts. Otherwise, it just looks ridiculous. But I did love those Michigan baggy shorts that I had. They made me play better. You best believe it. I honed in my inner Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard, and Chris Webber with those. Ray Jackson and Jimmy King. All right, we got less than 4 minutes to go in the third period. Dumoulin, Larson, Gord, Yamamoto, and Cartier. And one. Yeah, I had some and one shorts too. And one mixtape. I was all over that shit. The professor actually grew up just very close to me, out here out in Salem and whatnot. Not a lot of people know that the professor was here from Oregon. Nice save. Skip to my Lou. Rafer Alston. He was really like the only NBA player in that Escalade and, and one. Hey, yo. But I still got all those mixtapes too on like VHS and DVDs. That was a fun part of my life at that point with the and one mixtape tour. Hella entertaining. And it definitely got people out there. It's like when I go into the neighborhoods now, when I walk Paisley, I barely see anybody hooping. You know what I mean? Like everyone's inside on their fucking devices now. It's kind of sad, but I'm probably going to end up getting a basketball and a backpack, and I'll start hooping with Paisley and stuff. I might not like watching it on TV, but if I'm at a park, I can hoop. You know, watching it on TV, if it's like March Madness, I can do that. NBA playoffs, it's a little bit better, but I think NBA regular season a little harder for me to watch. But when you're playing, I used to play for 8 to 12 hours a day, like 6 days a week. So it's like wake up in the morning and then I would come home late. A lot of y'all know if you grew up in like the 80s and 90s, no cell phone, you wake up and then, you just come home at whatever point before it gets dark. And I would just, you have your little Diamondback, or Dino, and you're going from park to park. You're just seeing where the hoopers are at. And I have a couple parks that aren't too far from me. About three main ones within about 15 minutes from each other. So, but it was cool to be able to see the professor too. Obviously being a Caucasian baller, pretty much the only white guy that was represented from and one, and obviously with his handles and his moves and his shot selection, really special player. We got hoopers out here in the Pacific Northwest. All right, less than 2 minutes to go. Skinner with the hat trick. Fuck. Seventh career Hattie. This is tough. Nice job, Jeff. We ain't haters here. Six two Sabres. Skinner with the hat trick, assisted by Jordan Greenway and Jacob Bryson. I see you. Way to be electric for that hat trick, bud. Oh, it hasn't been the Kraken's year. Not just the night. Fuck, last 4 or 5 games have been fucking terrible. That's like I can only take so many losses, but again, it's like at least we're not like a number one seed, and then all of a sudden we're losing all these games. Like we're a 6 seed, we're not making the playoffs. So but again, when you play a 6 seed and you're a 6 seed, it's the battle of the bads, and you don't want to lose 6-2 to a team that's equally as bad as you and at home. But that's where we're at today. Yeah, Kraken need new goalies. We need a high-end center like a Nathan McKinnon. You know, um, we need better defensemen. I mean, we need a whole, a whole rebuild. We have a lot of players, and it's like I still have, love for some of the guys that we have on the team. But again, at the end of the day, there's going to have to be changes that are made, either with Hack in the future or, with the goalies and with the players. But again, we don't have a superstar on our team. We need, that Nathan McKinnon, that Connor McDavid. We don't have that. And once we get that, that's when the Kraken will be able to compete. That'll at least be one piece, but we don't have anything like that. So, and it seems like it's a different player every single game, which can be exciting, but also frustrating at the same time. And there is the final score: Sabres 6, Kraken 2. And this is the first time the Sabres have beaten the Kraken in the team history for the Kraken. So over a 3 to 4 year period, we've been able to beat up on Buffalo every single matchup, and they finally get revenge on us from earlier in the season and obviously all the matchups prior. 34 shots on goal for the Kraken, 30 for the Sabres, 36 hits for the Kraken, 26 for Buffalo, 10 penalty minutes for the Sabres, 4 for the Kraken. But the biggest differential, face-off percentage, 60% for the Sabres and only 40 for the Kraken, 60.8 to 39.2 to be exact. So tough. But I appreciate everyone coming through. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. Make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health as well as the people that are in the room. Final score: Sabres 6, Kraken 2. And then tomorrow, we'll take a quick peek. And thank you to Megan for helping out on the Twitter/X side. And then let me take a quick peek to see what we got lined up. We got, obviously, the Kraken and the Vegas Golden Knights on ESPN at 7:30 on Thursday. But as far as tomorrow is concerned, Blackhawks, Kings, Wild Ducks, Lightning, and the Golden Knights. I might do that. That one would be worth doing. Sabres and Canucks, Canadians and Oilers, Sharks and Predators, Avalanche and Blues. I would consider doing that. Hurricanes and Islanders, Maple Leafs and Flyers, Jets, Rangers, Penguins and Devils. I would consider doing that one too, depending on if Odin's son could come in. So tomorrow we're going to either do Penguins, Devils at 4 p.m. or Avalanche, Blues at 5 p.m. or Lightning and Golden Knights at 7 p.m. So I'll do probably a vote tomorrow, and then I'll talk to a few people, but those will be the choices tomorrow. Lightning, Golden Knights at 7 p.m. Pacific, Avalanche and Blues at 5 p.m. Pacific, or Penguins and Devils at 4 p.m. Pacific. So we're going to be doing one of those 3 games tomorrow. That'll be on the slate since the Kraken have the day off. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to Lauren, Sarah, Reflect, Judah, Matt, all of y'all. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I got to go take my dog for another 30 to 45-minute walk, and we'll get some more photos for you, Matt, and the rest of y'all tomorrow. Is there anything else that you guys need here before I go? Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. I salute you, as well as the people on YouTube. And we'll get some more photos tomorrow when I don't have these other things that I need to take care of, since we're already sitting at 9:30, 11:30, and 12:30 if you're on the East Coast like Judah. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.